Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is quietly watching the news. One of the biggest stories currently on Fox is McDonald's new chain of restaurants. That's kind of boring. Makes you wonder what's going on in the background. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Mark. If you can't find it, well, you're not very good at the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Carolina, it is not. The hell day is December 5th, 2023. I only got a few shows left in 2023. Then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. I don't know how old it is. To be America's enemy is dangerous, but to be its friend is fatal. Who said that? Henry Kissinger. And he took all his secrets to the grave. We'll talk about that. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she's one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. Karen B from the channel. Karen B.
What's up? Good
Karen.
evening. Hey.
Tuesday, yet again. Cold, wet. We're still trudging along, but we got stories.
Yes, we do.
And this one, you'll be able to chime in a few times because the lead stories from your neck of the woods or your old neck of the woods. Anyway. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. And because it's 10 p.m., oh, so sleepy. We should get one of those. What's that song? We gotta get a soundbite of that. It's 10 p.m. on the East Coast. It's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige, who's getting some cocoa in her jammies and probably catch the rerun in the morning. Night, Paige.
Last week she was in chat like, I'm here, Mark.
Lies. I don't believe it. She was sawing logs with a sleep mask made out of silk. Don't forget, you can also find imported silk. And also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter, the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family. Won't you pick up some merch? Oh, Lullaby. It's not just Lullaby, right? It's something else. Something Lullaby? Yeah, he'll figure it out. Meetups. Oh, crap. I didn't have my meetup screen. Karen, do you have any meetups on yours? By chance?
No.
I gotta pull up mine. Hang on. Sorry, guys.
I can probably talk about the last meetup that I was talking about before last week. Can't remember.
That's all right. Arizona, December 7th. The promo is on my channel. Flat Earth Meetup Arizona. Check it out when you get a chance. And then Flat Earth Meetup in East UK. Not to be confused with the Bournemouth, West UK. We have meetups again. How are you guys doing meetups during the holiday season? That one is December 9th. That promo is also on my channel. Check it out. Both of them, they're regular meetups on a monthly basis, if I'm not mistaken. And Ian sent me, wonderful video, which I put on my channel. I think they just did their 16th. So good for you guys. Way to go. Way to represent. Very, very cool. And was there anything else? You are going to release a video. When are you going to release that thing that you showed me today? Pretty soon?
I'll probably start premiering them tomorrow.
Okay. So
still editing. Like I only finished that one so far.
Well, hey.
And then now I'm working on Karen.
Might as well tell people they're coming. So go ahead. You want to?
Yeah, so I actually did end up getting more video than I had access to earlier just because I think it's because Lowry just sucks at file sharing. But I did get more video and it is actually, it's still not what I would want, but it is good enough to share. I think it's shareable. So I've been editing them where I put in like the slides that the next to the person talking on the video so that I can share them. So if you missed the presentations or you missed Flattoberfest, there's still hope.
Yep. And the first one that was completed was because you're going in order.
Yeah, I was just going in order.
Yeah, the first one was me because I opened the conference and I already watched it. It's an hour long. It's good. I like it.
Mark to get opinions. Yeah, it's 50 minutes. Yeah, so it's good. Yeah. I mean, you guys will be able to watch it.
Again, I hate myself on camera, and so if I could tolerate it, you guys can tolerate it. Peanuts.
Yeah, people look small on the video, and then I put their slides next to it, so you can still hear it and get the gist of what they're saying. You can hear their presentation. So that's the important part.
Yes, indeed.
And then we'll do, after I release all the presentations, then we'll do a B-roll. We'll do like a behind the scenes edit.
Oh, nice. Well, there's
All
tons
the
of
extra stuff.
so much
Yeah.
B-roll. Ton of B-roll. So, oh, and I have on my channel currently, I have the memoriam on my channel.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
that's
the
right.
so the conference memoriam, which is 30 something minutes long.
Like 38 minutes.
38 minutes long. If you guys want to watch that, that is on my channel. I was kind of a little concerned that it was going to pick up a copyright thing, notably from The Guardian, which I set that one up. I was the one that worked with the producers on that one. And I already had to have, well, it's a long story.
Historically, they would not let us use that footage, and I did put it in there. So
yeah.
For myself, I didn't upload it to YouTube yet.
I know. I would have waited too.
In.
I waited to see if and who knows, maybe because they struck me once and they removed the strike 4 years ago or whatever it was when they did that interview. Because I had to call them. I put it up on my channel, the whole thing. I put up the whole thing, and they hit me, and I wrote them, and I called them. It's like, hey, and I was one of the only times I actually had to go above somebody's head. I just said, hey, Peter, blah, blah. It's like, wait, Peter? It's like, yeah. Peter I set up this thing up with Peter. It's like, okay, well, I'll take down the strike, but you have to pull it because you basically used the whole thing, and I didn't do any commentary on it. So who knows? But anyway, point is the memoriam's on my channel. Please check it out if you get a chance. It's beautiful. Karen did a fantastic job creating it, and it's a wonderful tribute. So
thank you, Mark.
Yep. No, you did. It's a beautifully done. All right, let's get to the headlines. So behind the scenes, in case you missed it, if you guys remember from last week when we were talking about the secret stuff that may be coming down the pipe that you're not, because remember, this really, from this point moving forward, unless some unknown event happens, the media is going to be focused on the election in multiple ways. They're going to be focused on Trump and his courthouse, how that's going to affect the campaign. Is Biden, what's he going to do? But what they quietly did behind the scenes was they did a debate between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom from, you guys don't know who Gavin is. He's the governor of California, that wonderful state. Karen has nothing but praises about that man. And yeah, they debated, and don't think for a second, it's like, and they both took shots at each other. And basically it was like the runners-up debate, which was if something happened to Trump tomorrow, DeSantis would be the guy that is going to be the nominee. But if something happened to Biden tomorrow, they don't really have a backup plan except for the secret version, which would be Gavin Newsom as either VP or president candidate, and Michelle Obama, which is supposed to be, well, currently is the worst kept secret in Red Team, which is like everyone knows they're going to try to sneak her in somehow. So yeah, they had Gavin doing the debate. And I know exactly why they were trying to do it. They wanted to see what he looked like on television. They want, he's a little rusty. He hasn't done a national debate like that in a while. They wanted to see what his metrics were like. They wanted to see what he was like on social media. What sort of real-time numbers was he getting? The comments from people. And that's how it's going to go moving forward. In fact, it was interesting because they tried to press him on it because it was done on Fox News, which is not partial. So they were absolutely going after Gavin Newsom. And they asked him point blank, we won't play the clip necessarily, but they asked him point blank if he was going to run. And he said, right now, I am backing Joe Biden 100%. It's like, well, if they came to you tomorrow and asked you if you would run, he just kept dodging it and dodging it and dodging it. Right. And his quote was, Joe Biden will be our nominee in a matter of weeks. In a matter of weeks, DeSantis will be endorsing Donald Trump. Now, he's absolutely right on that, where DeSantis will be endorsing Donald Trump, no question. But, and to that point, Gavin Newsom will probably also endorse Joe Biden. Maybe. Until something, you just can't leave Biden into the debate. So yeah, it is moving forward behind the scenes, the silent script. They are working Gavin Newsom in. They don't even really have to worry about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is going to be the president, or going to be the gift, pops out of the cake type thing, where she can just walk into the convention last minute. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, it's Michelle, and look who's behind her. It's Barack. It'll be great. It's again, it's the dream. It's the dream that they don't want to die. So this is going to be restoring Blue Party to their former glory. That's what they're going to try to do. And again, appreciate the emails from people that say, no, Trump's got this in the bag. He's absolutely got this. He's got it this time. It's like, really? Okay. First off, I heard this 3 years ago already. And the second thing is, don't forget, if you're looking for a narrative, the overarching narrative, which is what happened, if you want to make America look as weak as possible, and they've been trying, who makes us look weaker? Trump or Michelle Obama or Gavin Newsom? Blue team will make us look weaker. Trump comes in and people even just forget what happened in 3 years. Like, right, Trump's in charge. Let's start kicking ass. It's like, no, they don't want that. So, and don't be hypocrites. You're not going to sleep that night. Election night, red team is not going to sleep. Blue team's not going to sleep. Nobody's going to sleep. They're just going to sit there with coffee in front of their television and just wait to freaking lose their minds. All right. There you go. So.
Gruesome Newsom.
Look for him as either VP or president.
I sincerely hope that dirtbag does not become president. I don't think he will.
No,
He's
but
such a sleaze bag.
But running him as VP, it hits the demographics. Michelle Obama ticks off one box. Newsom, and come on. As far as politicians go, and I've looked at a lot of politicians over the years,
when you put it as Newsom as like cucking to Michelle.
And doesn't that also fit a narrative? Also,
yes,
yeah, doesn't it? Plus he's got the politician hair, the jawline, the teeth, that smile. Oh yeah, he's California politician. Super photogenic in that regard. Perfect. The two of those, it'd be wonderful. Blue team would just break down in tears of joy. All right, moving on. Let's go to Fox Business real fast. Fox Business. Okay. Also, in case you missed it, Elon Musk goes to the Dealbook Summit. Dealbook Summit. And it was completely staged from second one because he knew all the questions that were going to come at him. This wasn't some spontaneous thing. And he was asked about, advertising dollars and people pulling out, the corporate sponsors pulling out of Twitter. And he says, go F yourself, right? And he didn't get the response. If you watch the clip, and I've watched it multiple times, the audience, he didn't get the laughs he wanted. So he repeated it, go F yourself, trying to blackmail me with money, which was not the right thing to say. He is not an articulate man. Which was just extortion. It's like, look, the sponsors are going to pull out, and he was taking a shot at Disney, basically implying that was it Bob Iger, the head of Disney, was going to him and saying, unless you start retracting these pro-Palestine things that that you're endorsing, we're going to pull out money. And so he goes on stage to supposedly say this. How do I know this was absolutely scripted? Well, for me, it's easy. You can always tell he has no poker face, but it's in the jacket he wears. In this case, it's the bomber jacket. So he's not going to wear the suit like everybody else. He can't wear something too tough. He's going to wear something just slightly. And so bomber jacket, that's timeless. It's brown leather. It's not black leather. It's got that wool collar. So he's got sort of a tough Fonzie thing going, but it isn't a total greaser thing going. Now, how do I know this? How do I get validated? It's like, Mark, you're stretching on this. No, I'm not. Absolutely. Because a few days later, he releases, and we don't have the article for it. You can look it up yourself. And in fact, I don't even have a story for it. He releases the Cybertruck. One of the ugliest trucks I've ever seen. No woman is ever going to be caught dead with that in her garage, ever. That thing is hideous. Yeah. Absolutely freaking hideous. They're only going to release 2,000 of them this year. I don't even know why it's a big launch. But there at the car show or the truck show, there he wore the full-blown black leather. It's like, I ride a motorbike and I'm tough. It's like, dude, you've probably never ridden a motorbike in your life. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Elon Musk. Watch the clip if you get a chance. But again, he's playing both sides. So just before he went to this, remember, he was in Israel.
Yeah.
Kissing ass in Israel, right? It's like, I don't know what's going on, and it's, because his opinion matters. Turns around, comes to this, and then tells a Jewish company, they were saying, you shouldn't back pro-Palestine, to go F yourself, really, on stage? Really? You had to make this on stage and then call out the head of Disney while you're doing it? Whatever. Absolutely bunch of he is.
Yeah. I was talking about this yesterday on Coffee Talk a little bit because, he totally starts bragging about, all his accomplishments in this space sector and like how much he's helped the environment with his ridiculous cars.
Right.
You can't even drive outside your city with that. How many hundreds of tonnage to make one battery for one car, and 99.9% of it is waste, and you're doing the most for the environment. Oh,
no, the electric car.
How about you go fuck yourself, Elon?
Oh yeah, the electric car market is going to crash eventually. Mark my words. There's already red states that are pulling back from it. It's just there's just not enough to it. I'm sorry. And by the way, Peanut chimes in. No woman would have that truck. No man would have that truck unless you're a fan of 70s post-apocalyptic shows. Yes. It's hideous. It's hideous. And if one of the selling points is that the doors are bullet resistant, what are you doing? That also means it's heavy, by the way, and the battery life is going to go down even more. Anyway, moving on. We don't have just one Elon Musk story. Next one down. This is from Supercar Blondie. Probably our first time under the cars trending section. Where is the headline is the astonishing location the Tesla launched into space by Elon Musk has reached after 5 years. Can you believe it's been 5 years since that car was launched?
Speaking of Elon's bullshit.
Yep. Supposedly it is 58 million miles away. It is roughly in the same orbit as Mars. Supposedly, 59 million miles away. Traveling at 12,000 miles an hour. And there's a shot of it supposedly in the capsule before it left. And apparently it's got a song playing on loop for the last 5 years. It's like, sure.
Oh, right. The battery's just going and going and going.
Right. And so your battery in that thing, you had to turn off the cameras as soon as you started to pull away from Earth, but you're going to leave the radio going. Even though the vacuum of space and there's nowhere for sound to go.
And how come we don't have pictures of the Roadster from any of our satellites?
There you go. Sure. You're right. Why isn't somebody? Yeah. No, I remember vividly 5 years ago when that shot was sent to me, and I thought Jared had made it or somebody, and I was like, what's that? It goes, no man, that's a live stream. I was going, the hell you say? It's like, what?
Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous.
Okay, next one down. This one's from Mashable. Oh yeah, this is just a random story they threw out there. NASA will land daring spacecraft on a world 800 million miles away. On a world. You mean Saturn? It's an unprecedented space odyssey. See what they did there? And there's a CGI rendering of the drone over a desert. Don't know where that desert is. It's not even a real drone. The Dragonfly mission sounds, and again, I'm not going to read much of this at all, but it's the first line that gets me. NASA's Dragonfly mission sounds like science fiction, but it's real.
Nope. Oh, I believe it.
Yep.
Seems legit.
Yep. Sounds totally legit with the dual quadcopter. Blah blah blah. You couldn't even give us a real shot of the drone you're even thinking about, and then it's a big article. You scroll down.
It's really supposed to go to the moon. Titan.
Yeah, it's one of Saturn's
Saturn's ocean and dune covered moon.
I wonder if they're. You know what? I wonder if they're tying this to the new Dune movie release. They could.
Probably.
Why not? Right. Okay. Next one, Deb.
Why not? I'm sure all the money they make goes into the same pot.
Right. All right. This one is from Fox News. And it is also the quote of the day, or the quote of the week. Former Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger. He died at 100 years old. He died. Crap. He died at his home in Connecticut. So there you go. 100 years old. Henry Kissinger. If you don't know who he was a puppet master advisor forever. Give you an idea of how old this guy was, by the way. If you don't know how old 100, I'll put it in perspective for you. When he hung out with Kennedy, he was 40. That's how old this guy was. He was actually, he was younger, and Kennedy was the youngest president ever. He was younger than Kennedy, but he was still 40. I know it sounds like a Stockard Channing joke, but it's true. So yeah, Henry Kissinger, look him up, his history. Boy, guy was embroiled. He was always in the freaking room, always somewhere in the corner with that heavy Eastern European accent, that low voice of his. Maybe you shouldn't blow them up. In fact, I'm pretty sure that one of Dr. Strangelove, I think he was based on him, or partly based on him. Yeah. If you remember the Stanley Kubrick film, Dr. Strangelove. All right. Moving on. Next one, last one before we get to Lucky Unlucky is from the dailymail.com. Oh, yeah. So the prime minister says, yeah, everything's fine. The headline literally is, don't panic, but Brits should stock up on candles and battery-powered radios in case a power meltdown cripples digital gadgets. Okay. It's going to throw that out of nowhere. Households should stock up just in case. Deputy Prime Minister has warned. Prepare for being thrown back to an analog era in case the internet and power systems collapse. All right. If you want to, I mean, there's a couple ways you can do fear, but that's pretty direct. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Just put, in case it does, you know what to do. All right, lucky, unlucky. We got a bunch. First was, you remember Jamie Foxx? He was MIA for a while. And then he got hit with a sexual harassment suit because I think he was talking. And so now he's decided he's going to start talking about it because what has he got to lose? He almost said, and so on TMZ.com, the headline is, Jamie Foxx, I almost died. Let's see. He opened up about his mystery illness at a Critics' Choice Association Awards recently. And let's see here. Remember, he was out since April. Would not say what triggered the emergency. He's smart enough at least not to do that. But he painted a bleak picture saying he couldn't walk. And that would explain the whole revamping of his mansion. Confirmed that, and wouldn't wish that he went through on his worst enemy. And the crowd, of course, standing ovation, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I cherish every single minute now. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. Ooh.
What?
I don't know if I'd say that in front of a crowd. But hey, at least he was honest about some of it.
Jeez.
I know, right?
That's not good, my dude.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Again, he's got nothing to lose. At least he said it. I mean, he confirmed the rumors like, oh, hey, by the way, yes, I did almost die and I couldn't walk. So there you go. But he fell short of saying what did it to him. But you know what? We'll talk about some other people that went into the same boat, like this guy, also from TMZ Sports. Reed Ryan, college football player, dead at 22 after collapsing during a workout. He died on Tuesday after collapsing during a workout earlier this month. He was just 22. He was 6'3", 241 pounds, defensive end, freaking wall of muscle. And he had a heart attack. And that was it. And family says began life-saving measures. They took him to the ICU. And basically, they put him on a ventilator, and they called it 7 days later, but he was already gone by then. Oh, why? And by the way, they say it was due to an undetected genetic heart condition and a large, loving heart. Really? So you're going to call myocarditis a large, loving heart? That's a nice way of putting it.
Right.
Nice way of throwing that in there. Wow. Unbelievable. Let's do one more before for the first break. This is from City News. Shane MacGowan, lead singer of the Pogues and a laureate of booze and beauty, dies at age 65. Now, here was the thing about this guy. Let me see here. want to make sure I don't miss this. There was something in here that caught me. Shoot. I don't see it right away. Oh, yeah. Okay. So so here's where the interesting, then we'll go to break. Musician had been hospitalized in Dublin for several months after being diagnosed with vital encephalitis in late 2022. Then he was discharged last week ahead of his upcoming birthday, which was going to be on Christmas Day. And then he just died. So what happened? He was let out of the hospital. It was one of those things where they said, well, we don't advise you going home. But he went home anyway. So there you go. Yeah. All right. We are going to go to break. When we come back, we got, at least quite a few more lucky unluckies. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 clown worlds. So, Karen, the first music break, please.
Alrighty.
There are some exciting new features on the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Our new Profiles module allows you to create a personalized wall with as much or as little information as you like. Connect with other blue dots anywhere across our amazing Flat Earth plane. Share your favorite images, videos, and stories on your wall. Search for other blue dots by using keywords or by name. You never know who you might meet. Add friends to your Flat Earth circle. Keep track of your friend requests and invites from others in the Request tab. See what your friends are up to and interact with them. In the Edit section of your profile, scroll down to the Search Terms for your profile section and add in all of your hobbies and talents, so other blue dots can connect with you. From any group chat, long press on the comment to directly link to that user's profile. From a one-to-one chat, click the info button on the upper right to see your options. Invite them to be in your circle of friends. With the simple swipe to the left, you can now mute notifications for selected groups of your choosing. Our images section has gotten a big upgrade. You can now use keyword searching to bring up all of the images that you're looking for. No more scrolling and hunting. We plan on adding thousands.
We can run that Denny Lane one as soon as we come back, if you want.
Someone in chat mentioned it, so I just.
If you are seeing this video, it's time to update your app and find your tribe.
Join me, Karen B, every Moon Day at 9:30 a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube, Rumble, and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all. Join me.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you and me, the always lovely Karen B, and sometimes Peanut. And yeah, you know what that was, Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and Day.
Yep. During the break, we actually had a last-minute entry into Lucky Unlucky, so we'll kind of slip this one in between the lines. This is from Deadline. Denny Lane, Laine, dies. Wings and Moody Blues co-founder. Was 79. I had no idea he was tied to Wings. That's saying something, you know. And if you're, of course, a Beatles fan, you will automatically hate Wings, the Paul McCartney solo project that he started when the band broke up years ago. Nothing really unusual here. Looking down, he died from lung disease. Interstitial lung disease, ILD, said his wife. So yeah, there you go. I don't have any other details on if it was the turbo version or not, or whatever. But all right, moving on. We left off with the Pogues, right?
Yes.
So the next one down, I believe, would be the basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
So fan dies at New Orleans Pelicans Sacramento Kings game. Fan experienced again, you guys are going to have to come up. You know what? Don't come up with original terms. Medical emergency. They're just throwing out that. And died during the game Monday night at the Golden One Center.
This was in Sacramento.
Yeah. And he was in his 30s. Again. And after 20 minutes, it was pronounced dead on the scene right there. And the team wasn't aware of the situation at all. Of course, why would you? I mean, you got thousands of people in the stands. Just wheel the guy out.
Yeah.
And that's it. Next one down. It's from the Daily Mail. Former Germany youth international footballer died aged 25 of, what did he die of, Karen?
Natural causes?
Natural causes. 3 weeks after complaining of breathing problems in his last game for his club. So let me get this straight. 25-year-old, 3% body fat guy, cardiovascular great, has breathing problems, and then you're going to call it natural. Yeah, natural causes. Sure.
It'd be natural if he was complaining of breathing problems before that.
Yeah. No, what's natural about that? I think there's got to be an age minimum for natural causes, right? Like 80, right?
I know.
The club is shocked and deeply saddened by the tragic event. However, again, let me see here real fast. So many freaking things. His last game, November 4th, where he substituted after 39. He complained about breathing problems, and then they say, well, it is unclear whether it had any part to play in his death. Yep. Oh, hey, at least he had a little time to. He doesn't all of a sudden just drop on the field. I swear. Next one down. BBC News. Thank you, by the way, for all the people over in the UK that send me these. Cardiff nightclub's heartbreak over. Again, you think that 25 is young? No. How about this girl? She's 21 at a club. You're thinking, it was probably drugs. Nope. You know why? Because the police described the woman's death as sudden and unexplained. Yep. And the club officially said, as a venue, we are absolutely heartbroken due to the events on Friday night. Yep. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but tragically, the individual passed away despite every effort from the medical staff. They called it then and there. South Wales police said it was continuing to investigate the woman's death. Oh, I don't think they're going to find anything. You know why? Because you refuse to look in the obvious place. Place that we've known for a long time now. Let's go back to TMZ. Love TMZ. Some of the finest journalists in the world work at TMZ. Oh yeah, this is one of there. By the way, we have a number of actual lucky people this week. It's not all doom and gloom. Oh no. LeBron James' son, Bronny, cleared to return to basketball 4 months after cardiac arrest. If you remember 4 months ago, we covered this. He had a heart attack during practice. Went down, lucky to be alive. He's 19, mind you, 19. And he's been on the bench the entire time, by the way. But they're not going to put him in the game. But now the doctor says, oh, no, we can totally put you in. I got a funny feeling he's not coming off that bench. Because if you're that school, again, he's LeBron's son. Are you really gonna roll those dice? Really? You gonna put LeBron's son out there? He shouldn't even be freaking in the uniform at all. He should be at home. By the way, the only guy, there's only been one professional athlete ever in history to have a massive heart attack and then come back to play, and that's DeMar Hamlin. You remember that guy?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
If this guy makes it,
everything about that was weird too, though.
I know. Oh no, yeah, oh no, I'm still trying to figure out that one. Now, granted, he's getting almost no playing time. They're keeping him on the bench. He plays hardly at all, and when he does, they make sure the cameras are covering it because, again, psychologically, it works for the general public. You don't spook the herd. It's like, oh look, DeMar's alive, he's fine. LeBron's James' son, no, he's good. He's still sitting there. Yeah, we'll see how many minutes. And then I'm sure LeBron's got to be conflicted because I'm sure he goes to some of these games, and I'm sure he wants to see his son play. But at the same time,
wait a minute.
What?
Because it says an anatomically and functionally significant congenital heart defect which caused cardiac arrest.
Right.
So why would they ever? Why would he ever be approved to be playing? Because that defect is not going to go away.
Yeah, that defect is permanent. And if you think and that will absolutely have a bearing on his pro prospects. It doesn't matter if he's LeBron's blood or not. It's not going to make any damn difference. He already had a heart attack in college. No. Nope. Not going to work. All right, moving on. Next one down from the Times of India. We don't do enough of the Times of India. Malaysian star Queensy Cheng passes away on set after complaining about sudden uneasiness. Okay. So here's the thing. So she was doing a web series, right? She's 37. She was filming for the social media channel Squad Sekawan. The tragic incident unfolded on set, leaving the entertainment industry in mourning. According to Chai Z, a fellow singer, actor, and co-founder of this particular channel, told China Press that he had picked her up in the morning, arrived on set at 8 a.m., and they filmed the first segment from 8:30, and then they had breakfast. As the team prepared for the second episode, about 10:30, she sat down in a chair, got dizzy, headache, then got nauseous, threw up, hit the ground, and by the time the paramedics came, it was over. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what we talked about, Karen? Whatever you were doing when you dropped, unless it was nothing, that's what did it. Let's go to the next one down. This is from Asia One, a completely different outfit for Asia. Karen, you want to read me that headline?
Blow drying hair might have led to brain aneurysm rupture in Malaysian actress Queensy Cheng's sudden death, doctor says.
So she had blow dried her hair. We don't know if she was blow drying her hair before or after breakfast, but it doesn't make any difference. That was the closest thing to her head, and therefore the blow dryer must have caused a brain aneurysm. So it's obvious, as Pina and I talk about on a regular basis, blow dryers kill people.
Yes.
Straight up. Even though there are conflicting reports, people have said that no, she wasn't even using a freaking blow dryer. She was using a curling iron. So whatever, doesn't really matter. But the fact, again, this will tie into this a little bit later, which is you spin the story as best you can. Do conflicting reports, anything, point at anything you can. In this case, blow dryer.
That is so ridiculous.
Yep. And further down, let me see here. Blow drying. That's what they're gonna. When this happens, blood will accumulate within the brain. And used heat to blow dry hair where relatively high blood circulation may be increased, causing the aneurysm to burst. Yeah. You know, my sister was a cheerleader, and her cheerleader friends, you know, they used hair dryers all the time. And I mean, you'd lose at least one, two. There was constantly cheerleader tryouts at our school because we were losing them one or two every month. In fact, you get to like the end of the season of basketball, and you have completely different cheerleaders from football because the others were dead. Next one down. TMZ. Let's go back to TMZ. I love TMZ so much. Mark Shepard. Oh, here's a fun one. Ready? Karen was asking me about this earlier. Supernatural star, I watched all 15 seasons, brought back to life after 6 deadly heart attacks. Supernatural star Mark Shepard, who I like so much, not just because he played a demon, but because his initials are the same as mine, was at death's door Friday after suffering not 1, but 6 heart attacks, and EMTs had to bring him back to life. He says he was in his kitchen Friday when he collapsed. It's not like he was running or doing anything. He was just in his kitchen, and he's not a big guy. He's a little guy. That's when he suffered a series of what he said were massive heart attacks. EMTs had to bring him back to life 4 times.
That is insane to me.
And by the way, if you have that many heart attacks, you're on the clock as of now because your life expectancy goes way down.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of damage to the heart.
Yeah, and he apparently had 100% blockage in his left anterior descending artery, which is called the Widowmaker. Apparently, it's one of the worst heart attacks you can have, and he made it through
6 times.
6 times. Love his supernatural star. Misha Collins tried to downplay it. You don't need to do the most and the biggest every time. 6 heart attacks, 2 of 3 would have been impressive enough. Now stop with this heel up and get back on the road with us. Love you, pal. Oh man. 15 seasons I watched that show. He was in pretty much all of them too. Okay, next one down. We got 3 or 4 more, then we'll do Clown Worlds. We'll pump through these pretty fast. Is the next one down tributes to East Riding champions of their communities?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the counselors who passed away on the same day. East Riding Liberal Democrat group leader Clear Dennis Healy and sorry, forget about the counselor. Dennis Healy and Pete Astle were fine colleagues and much loved friends, and they died in the same day. So you get 2 for the price of 1 with that one. One of them died following illness, which resulted in a stroke. And do we know anything about the other one? Don't see the other one. But hey, what can I tell you? That's how fast they go down. All right, next one down. From the Daily Mail. A lot of UKs this week. Oh yeah, this is fun. I initially thought this was going to be one of those emergency landing reroutes, but it wasn't. So Ryanair flight from UK to Morocco had to stop in Portugal because a pilot fell ill. He wasn't feeling well. Diversion triggered a red alert. Yeah, I think it was a little more than not feeling well, because if you look on the map, Morocco, the difference between Portugal and Morocco is not that far.
No, it's not. It's right. They're right across the channel.
Yeah, meaning you were in trouble. You're basically your one of your pilots was completely disabled, and protocol says you got to go to the nearest airport, and they must have been closer to Morocco. So yeah, that was it for that one. So, but he's not dead from what I understand. He's still alive. So lucky. See, we got lucky people this week. But he was a pilot, so and I will never get on a single pilot plane ever. There better be 2 pilots.
Oh yeah. That's a safety thing for commercial airlines anyway.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening to this, if you know anyone that goes in a private jet, you better tell them to get a backup. Spend the money and get a backup pilot. Don't care if they're just sitting around playing cards in the meantime. Because that pilot goes down. Remember what happened to those other guys? You know, it was on autopilot. He just slumped over. The family just kept flying until it crashed. All right, next one down. I believe that was the last one. Okay, then we're getting some weird stuff that borders on Clown World. All right, real fast. This one is Vigilant News, not one of our normals. Fake obituaries are being created to conceal cases of died suddenly. You're saying fake obituaries? What the hell is that? What I mean is and it's probably the wrong term. The obituaries are changing depending on what your country you're in. So if you scroll down to like social media influencer, right? In America, it was Samara Maloney died unexpectedly from brain aneurysm, right? Last month. We covered that one, right?
Aneurysms.
What?
A lot of aneurysms.
Yeah, I wonder what causes aneurysms. That's weird, mysterious. We'll never figure it out. But in Vietnam, it's said that she died from a car crash.
What?
And in fact, that's the go-to. So if you're outside the United States, people will die because of something else, because they don't want to focus on America. They don't want to focus because we have too much of a spotlight on us. So they don't want to see that. So they'll just scroll down. Well, look, that's not just one. Let's look at, remember Reed Ryan, who we just talked about in this show, right? Football player, university, remember 2-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Defensive end, right? He died from a heart attack. But when you were looking at Vietnam, he died from a car crash. And India, he died from depending on where you are, that is the go-to, because they're not going to check. They're not going to look. Yeah.
Right. Why would they think that? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you're spinning it. So you're doing a double spin. Not only, you're spinning it here and you're spinning it outside, because you don't want people outside this country to start, but why are they dying suddenly and unexpectedly? Yeah, it's good. All right. Last one before we go to Clown World, which is from, oh yeah, this goes into one of Karen's mantras. If you have to write an article about it. So fact check, and I'm going to say it carefully here because we don't want to, so fact check USA Today. Bodybuilder Doug Brignall died of a COVID infection, not the shot. The claim that he died from the shot. And why were people in social media jumping on this? Because he was a real pro-shot guy, and he posted this online. It's like, oh yeah, get your shot. And so when he all of a sudden died, people were jumping on it.
Well, yeah, because of his quote. He said, those of you who think the what kills people, you can use me as a test. If I die, you were right. If I don't die and have no ill effects, you were wrong and should admit it.
Yes. Yeah.
That didn't age well.
No, it didn't. And when you go down to the bottom and it says, our rating false. Based on our research, we rate false the claim that he died from the shot. Despite what social media users claim, the medical examiner who investigated him said he died from COVID. And the medical examiner was from Los Angeles County. Douglas, or assessed October 25th. So yeah, there you go. It must be true. Yeah, I know. And to Peanut's point, but he had the shot. Yes, he did. Again, and how do you know? And we don't even have to guess anymore, because all the people, because if they were an anti-shot person, they would lead with that in the story. And we haven't seen that in a long, long time. They had a few, like in the the first week or couple months. And then after that, it's been all shot. So whatever. Okay, Clown Worlds. We got 4 of them, and I think they're all pretty fun. New York Post. So the New York Post, what they're going to do, this is not a gun grab. You're never going to get a gun grab. Logistically, it cannot happen. There's no way to do it. You could even break out the National Guard. There's just too many people, too many doors. However, what New York's going to do is they are going to make it so difficult to apply for a permit that you won't even want to get a permit, which means you're probably just going to force you into gun shows and people on the streets and stuff like that. You're just going to get it illegally. So we'll scroll down to the part with what they're going to ask. So the state officials added extra requirements for individuals seeking concealed carry weapons permits that take effect today, to September 1st, in the wake of the U.S. Supreme Court's blah, blah, blah. And here's what happens. Ready? For your concealed carry. Background checks will now require, ready? Applicants to sit down for an in-person interview, submit 4 character references, a list of former and current social media accounts spanning the prior 3 years, and disclose the names of their spouse or any other adults living in their home. Renewals will also now be required every 3 years instead of 5 years under the former law. So yeah, they're going to, the whole, again, the headline's a bit of a clickbait, which is, we're going to go door to door, but they're basically, going to talk to everybody. In fact, it reminds me a lot of, what it's almost identical to. It's almost identical to secret clearance. With any sort of secret clearance, they have to talk to people for character references in person. It's not like you can just give them a resume. They will go to those people's houses. So it's just like, can we trust them with a secret, national secrets? Now it's like, can we trust them with a gun? Yeah, that's going to be fun. Super. Oh, top secret clearance says, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my mistake. Top secret clearance. Okay, next one down from CNN.com. Oh, this is I love this one. YouTuber gets 6 months in federal prison for staging small plane crash. Yay! 30-year-old YouTube creator and former Olympic athlete. Boy, there's a character arc that went vertical. Was sentenced Monday to 6 months in federal prison for staging a small plane crash for social media clicks in California, by the way. Trevor Daniel Jacob admitted to intentionally crashing the plane, which was equipped with multiple cameras to capture his demise on video 2 years ago, by the way. And it took this long. So what happened was, why he got in trouble was he took the plane out there, was wearing a parachute, and when he jumped out of the plane, it's like, oh, I've lost control. He jumps out of the plane with a selfie stick thing ready to go, and he films this thing, and he also makes sure he gets the plane in frame as it's crashing into the mountains. Then he lies to the FAA because they need, it's like, we need to go and investigate the crash and blah, blah, blah. He knew where the plane crashed, so he lied to him where it was and started to go out there and piece by piece, hiked in there with people and would try to remove the debris. Man, they figured it out. It's like, dude, not only did you do this, but you tried to hinder our investigation. You're getting you're getting 6 months in prison. You're done. So, like Karen's
cameras.
The what?
He had to go back and get his GoPro camera.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure there were cameras on the plane as well.
Well, I'm playing the video and it shows that he did. He had cameras, 2 cameras on the plane, actually.
Freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Well, as Karen said before the show, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
Don't do anything for clicks. There are limits. This guy crashed a freaking plane. He could have killed himself very easily, and then nobody would have seen anything. There would have been some irony if 2 years later they found the debris in the cameras. But yeah, what a freaking idiot. Okay, 2 more. TMZ.com, obviously. Gonna do this one. Kelsey Grammer interview allegedly cut short after Trump talk began. This is on multiple things. So as you know, Kelsey Grammer, who is secretly one of us, they did a reboot of Frasier for Paramount Network. But here's the thing. So he goes over to do, the press junket stuff. So he's in the BBC, he's in London doing a show for the BBC. And he's talking about stuff, and he starts to slip into his endorsement of Donald Trump. And they cut the interview off. And BBC says, we didn't do it. No, of course they didn't do it. See, when you're doing this press junket, unless you're on your own, you are beholden to the company that you are working for. In this case, Paramount paid for the Frasier reboot. So Paramount has control over his interview. So it was a Paramount producer in the background. And as soon as he went off road, they're like, nope, cut it now. Well, because their demographics, they want everyone to watch Frasier. They don't care if they're blue team or red team. They don't want him to come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm red team. How about that? They don't want to hear it. So they cut his feed. And kind of controversial, in my opinion. So yeah. Don't think for a second, that anyone's innocent in out there. Everyone's being watched. Everybody's being tracked. Last but not least, before we go to break, RT.com. And we had to look this up before the show. I didn't even know this was a thing. But yeah, Conor McGregor, controversial Irish MMA fighter. He hints that he's going to run for the president of Ireland. The MMA star said he would consider privately funding to run to replace Michael Higgins. Now, I looked up Michael Higgins before this, and yeah, Michael Higgins is 81 years old, and he's been the president for a long time, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll jump in on this. Everyone in Ireland loves Conor McGregor. He won what did he win? 2 titles, 2 weight classes for the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And very controversial, very outspoken, huge ego, and loves showmanship. So yeah. And you're thinking, what, president of Ireland? That's a thing? Yeah, absolutely, it's a thing. Apparently, it's been a thing since the 1938. So yeah, I this should be fun to watch. I'm kind of curious if I'll actually get it. I'd love to see it. Again, media why? So his social media presence is huge, and cred is street cred, and that's all the voters need. It's like Conor McGregor, he's a hero. He's a son of Ireland. You know, seriously, name me a bigger Irish sports guy at the moment in the last 10 years than this guy. So there you go. All right. We are going to go to our second break. When we come back, we're going to take your phone calls. You guys know the number, but I'll give it to you as soon as we get back. Karen, run the music.
All righty then. Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests flat on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the best salsa on the plane. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat. Eat my salsa.
to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B, and sometimes Peanut. Yeah. Before we take calls, we should probably mention, and I was deliberately saving this just before the calls because I figured some of you were going to want to talk about it. One of the biggest things to happen in Flat Earth in a while was the giant debate between Dean Odle and Greg Locke. Dean Odle, of course, gave a prayer and a shout out to Karen B on stage before the event. And no, he didn't. No, he absolutely did not. He was afraid of what might happen to him. But he went to Greg Locke's church, and we had a whole bunch of people there represented. And notably, David Weiss was in the wings, probably wringing his hands, and Whitsitt was apparently tucking his shirt in, ready to jump up on stage at a moment's notice. Because it ran. I did not listen to the whole thing because, and my God, it ran 4.5 hours. Yeah, they were on stage for a long time, and eventually, and of course, Locke wasn't gonna budge an inch, which everybody knew ahead of time. It was all about the congregation. I've said this many times over the years, which is pastors, when you get to a certain stage, they fear the backlash from the congregation, which is you don't want to go up there and you don't want to say, oh yeah, by the way, I know that Isaiah 40:22, he who sitteth upon the circle of the earth doesn't have veto power over the rest of the Bible, but you know what? I'm going to use it as such. Or they go the other way and they say, well, we're going to go back to the old ways. They're afraid of what might happen. And so he didn't get back down. He got louder and louder, and finally, kicked Dean Odle off stage. Turned off his mic, and Dean Odle, tried to hand it to him. He slapped it away, and quite a bit of theater going on up there.
Yeah. Some of the stuff he said, because I watched a lot of it. That guy, that pastor Greg Locke, he had already made up his mind.
Yeah.
And I had watched some video that David Weiss had put on his channel of his rants and stuff that he had said before leading up to that debate.
Yeah.
And he did mention in one of the videos that he clipped that his son brought Flat Earth up to him at his house. And I think that really stuck in his craw. Like, he did not like that at all.
Remember?
He sits there and he's such a hypocrite because he sat there and told everybody, oh, I don't care if you think the earth's flat, I still love you, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, he's telling shut off Dean's mic and get out of my church. Like,
yeah. Remember what I said, and not just the Vegas speech, but speeches before that. It's like, we don't have to get you. If you're really going to dig in your heels, we'll go around you. We'll flank you. We will get your friends, your family, your coworkers, and eventually we will get you through peer pressure. So if we got his son, hey, great, wonderful. And I'm sure. Remember, he's the only one that was probably vocal about it. There's others out there, I guarantee it. You remember that little clip that I sent you just beforehand where CNN did a poll of voters, and apparently I don't even know why the question even came up. It's like apparently 10% of the people they polled said that they believe in flat earth. Yeah, and that was voting age people. So fantastic. So yeah, if you don't want to catch it, there is no shortage of videos out there. I probably will not put I'm not even probably do it on my channel. I mean, there are a lot of copies of this thing with commentary. I was amazed when I went into YouTube and said flat earth and sorted by upload date, like over the last couple of days, how many different channels I'd never seen before. A lot of Christian channels covered this. Christian channels which has never touched flat earth. They're like, you know what? Because this, caught the eye of it. It's like, why are there pastors arguing on stage? You don't see that in really with any topic, especially with a mega church. You don't have two lead pastors sit up there on stage and debate one topic for 4 hours. It's pretty rare. So anyway, if you guys want to call in and talk about that or whatever, I'm sure somebody's going to bring it up. Let's do.
And I don't know too if you saw like the statement that they released from the Global Vision Church, which is that church that Greg Locke is a pastor of. Did you see the release?
No, what was it?
Because they took down the videos. He did all that, kicked him out, and then he took down the videos. And then they released this press release where it was basically we were caring and loving, and they just came here to attack us and bully us. And like, dude, they just put out this ridiculous press release that was like just not at all what happened.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure
you're liars. He's a liar and a hypocrite.
I listened to him during the first hour and a half I was listening, where because we brought a louder group. definitely. And you could hear our crowd. We're not shy when it gets to that sort of venue where you know what the topic is. I mean, there were people yelling from the bleachers, and he didn't like that. He did not like being yet. I mean, let's face it, he was being heckled in his own church, by our people, and it was great. It was awesome. I think Dean did a nice job. There were so many topics and so many different angles being thrown out. It was tough to keep track of. I mean, nobody's going to figure out what's going on. And I knew that Dean was, I mean, yeah, if it was me, it would have gotten down to Greg should have had his best out there waiting in the wings. And we should have we would have brought up Austin at that point. It's like, let's just go, who's the best guy?
Greg didn't even look into it at all. Like, it was clear that he has not taken it seriously at all whatsoever, has not even bothered to see what the flat earth points are in the discussion. And so he just, like I said, already made up his mind that he was just not even going to listen. He was just going to.
He tried to sleepwalk his way through it, which is the biggest mistake of just about everybody. And they all do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. Somebody, remember when I went up against was it Friedman? The UFO guy that died some years ago. Friedman, right? He remember, he didn't even know. He did not look into it at all. Remember when I was on TFR when I was talking to him, and they said, and he stops me. I'm in 10 minutes in. He goes, wait a minute. We're talking about this like this isn't a metaphor for something? You're talking about this like it's real? I go, yeah. And he just paused. He's like, how does that work? It's like, oh crap. Then it wasn't a debate anymore. It was like, okay, now it's an instructional where you have to kind of catch up. And I don't think we even got really into much of a debate. So anyway, there's tons of footage from all sorts of channels out there. Check it out if you get a chance. Wonderful commentary by all sorts of people, and it's a long one. So, pack a lunch if you're going to listen to the whole thing, because it is 4.5 hours long. Thank God they sat down. They started in chairs, and got up, because I don't think they could have both stood up there for 4 hours. That would have been tough.
But Greg Locke's church got flat smacked by Dean Odle, so that's good.
Yep.
And a lot of his congregation are going to be like, why is he so angry about that?
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the Amy Adams story from years ago, and we'll pick up callers in 2 seconds, I swear, Peanut. Which is 11. It doesn't matter 11. Doesn't matter whether you love a topic or you hate a topic, as long as you're talking about when Amy Adams walked into that Oscar party, and everyone was whispering about conspiracies and stuff, and she starts ranting about flat Earth because, kind of like his son, her father was into flat Earth, and kept bringing it up to her, right? Because we're activists. And she goes, let me tell you the BS my father's into, flat Earth. And she starts ranting against it. And people were like, what's got Amy so upset? Click.
Because it triggers people.
Yeah, it does. And people started searching it immediately. That's how Kelsey got into it. It's a great little story. So I put it in the last revision of my book. Okay. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Well, let's start with 505 out in New Mexico, because there used to be an old Mexico until we took it.
Another silly love song. What's wrong with that?
It's good.
I'd like to know.
Yep.
'Cause here I go.
Probably going to get a copyright violation for Wings on that one. He's singing a Wings song.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is.
No. You're not going to get a copyright. You're not going to get a copyright violation because that was a terrible rendition of it. But do go on.
Come on.
No. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah. I couldn't resist. I have a soft spot for the Wings. Yeah.
Yeah. Wings.
So yeah, I actually. Yeah, and the only reason is I actually have a distant relative that was the drummer in the band.
Wings?
Yeah. So yeah, he was the drummer in the band, and he was, they went through a few drummers, but he was the main drummer. His name's Joe English.
Nice.
And and there's just some good stories, and of course, I don't, this is just a conspiracy I've just always loved. is Paul really the original Paul?
Sure.
And, I don't know, I'm sure, you've looked into it, or
I've
I don't know
heard
how
it.
much you have, but it's.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
But look.
Yeah, there's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The music kept.
Go for it, yeah.
We're gonna keep stepping on each other. The music kept getting made. That's the big point here, which is, look, the band broke up, Wings kept doing their thing, and the Moody Blues, they had a heck of a career. So yeah. Well, I'm really sorry to hear about Mark Lane, and the one of the fun things about that Paul before and after was they said that Paul before, if they switched him, was he could barely play the bass, I guess, right-handed, and after Sgt. Pepper, the new Paul could play left-handed, right-handed, piano, everything. And whoever they replaced him with, if they did, was apparently much more talented. So there's some good stuff out there on that. I know there's a guy that kind of got a couple books on it. And he goes into a lot of rock star type of history. But yeah.
Isn't that Mike Williams has a lot of stuff on Paul is Dead. He's got a Paul is Dead series.
I'm not sure the name, but in Sgt. Pepper's, and I'm not like a real Beatles fan at all, but the Sgt. Pepper, I guess, was the the album that was after he apparently died and was replaced, and they waited a couple years, to come out with their new image, and they had Paul walking barefooted, which dead men don't wear shoes, and they have pictures of him in a coffin on the album, and I guess even in the Sgt. Pepper's, I can't remember what it is. Is it Revolution number 9? I think you play it backwards, and Paul's Dead, I think it is, or Turn Me On Dead Man or something like that. But there's a lot of references in that on that album. So yeah, and apparently there's that one song that tells the whole story. Again, I'm just not a Beatles fan, but that about how Paul and John apparently got into a argument in the studio and just decided to cool things down, and Paul took a ride in his car, and I think that's the Austin Healey they talk about, and picked up a hitchhiker, and things went bad, and and then the C or whatever their MIA or that MI6 over there, or 5, I guess, approached all the rest of the Beatles and said, we got a problem here. He's dead, but we got to keep it going. So there's some really cool rabbit trails to this that whole story. It's a great story. Anyway, thought I'd drop that in there. But whoever the new Paul is, he's a very generous guy. There's nothing but good stories about him, because he took my uncle on tour with him, and actually paid for everything. And I guess he's a really generous guy. Cool. So anyway, I thought I'd drop that in there. And Henry Kissinger, I don't know if you've ever heard of Sean David Morton, but I listened to him years ago, and the funniest thing he ever said was he claimed that Henry Kissinger was working in Disneyland way back, like in California, and he used to serve ice cream incognito in Disneyland. But I always got a kick out of that story. But
you know what? As silly as that is, celebrities, it doesn't matter what kind they are, will sometimes do. Now, of course, we're not talking like a 9-to-5 job. It's just a limited run. But sometimes they will do. In fact, you've seen stuff on shows. Well, they'll be like coffee baristas, for a day or whatever, just to mess with people. And Henry Kissinger, I mean, depending on what year it was, I could totally see that. Depending on if you go back like prior to 1980, most people wouldn't even know who he was. So and come on, serving ice cream, absolutely, that'd be kind of a fun gig.
I don't see Henry Kissinger serving ice cream. And if he is, it's because he's looking for children to drink their blood, not because he wants to be nice to children. I mean, come on, Henry Kissinger.
You know what, Karen? You have a point there. If you wanted to scope out kids, that would be the place to do it.
Dude, That's where pedophiles go
Yeah,
work. They go work
Karen.
with children. They work at schools. They work in, you know,
Then
in
you,
those
then you
places
have
where
your
they have access to children. And
you
we
have
all know Disney is evil AF. Come on.
you have your goons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to spread stuff and get anyone in trouble or anything, but yeah, if you wanted to, that would be
No.
the way to do it.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
Karen,
Peanut
we got
says
Karen
if
sorry about
he wanted to do it, you do it at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, but Chuck E. Cheese is small. That's a fairly small area. Tough. I mean, you'd have to have like a special trapdoor, the ball pit, something like that. That's a tough thing to do. Anyway, anything else?
Yeah. Wow, there's so much, but I'll let you guys get to everybody else. But yeah, street cred. Shout out to Dean Odle. Yeah, I mean he stepped out there, and wow, that's a long time to be going. And hey, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So, and no such thing as bad publicity. So I'm just so happy he did that, and it worked out the way it did. And let's see, do some shout outs. Mark and Jessica up in Santa Fe, they were watching the debate and giving me some updates on it, and of course Jan in Dallas, and hey, what the heck, Paul McCartney.
Okay.
You keep it flat. All right. Love you guys.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Okay. See you, Mark. See you, Karen. Bye.
Later.
Oh, let's see. 913 area code. I think I know who this is. Is it Alex Lowry?
It was Stan Friedman.
It's not. Oh, is this
Can
the
you hear me?
ghost? Is this the
Stanton
ghost?
Friedman?
Is this the ghost of Stanton Friedman?
Yeah, I sat through that fucking interview with you and listened to the same thing that happened with this Super Bowl of preachers from the Christian community, and it was the same thing. It was like, look, I'm going to borrow from Karen here. Like, I'm Christian friendly. I didn't grow up in churches or whatnot, but I got no problem with Jesus, God and all that stuff. But I saw the same sort of things that happened in your Stanton Friedman interview. And that's been like, what, 8 years ago?
Yeah, probably like 7 or
Is that what it
6.
was?
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I sat through the whole thing, and he clearly had no idea what the hell you were talking about.
Right.
He had been in his narratives that he'd been working on, his interviews for so long had just broke down. They broke down, and he's like, wait, what? Like, you're like all of his UFO shit completely broke apart. And I think he retired after that. He never went on any interviews after that, right? Something like that.
Yeah, he was pretty much
Yeah. And like, right. I see it the same as this guy. Like, I can't help but just harken back to like that. Remember the movie There Will Be Blood?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you remember it? It was the movie about the false prophet, right? You had now originally the director, he had went through a bunch of edits with it, and they were actually the guy that played the false prophet. I can't remember his name. It's Paul something or whatever. There was supposed to be 2 of him. They were twins, right, in that movie. Well, it doesn't come across that way in that picture. Right. But there was one guy that was supposed to be a good guy, a good preacher, and they just mixed it together in the editing, and you ended up with this false prophet.
Right. And
the whole time, and even let's back this up. I'm gonna back this up a minute. When they first started doing that interview, I looked at Locke's shirt, and my brain fried. I was like, wait a minute. His shirt, again, this is just stuff. Maybe he's an idiot and he doesn't understand the shirt he bought. But the shirt that he was wearing was a pedophile shirt. It was like there's pedophile symbols all over his shirt. And that went out almost immediately. I saw it the minute he started talking. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This guy doesn't even have enough research under his bones to not buy something else online that is a known pedophile symbol.
Well, I didn't think it was
And I
exactly
was
like the
whoa.
pedophile symbol, though, because the pedophile thing is a triangle. And his was not it wasn't a triangle. It was like a regular, like, square spiral. I mean, I guess you could try to say that, but I think that's a little bit reachy. And I know he's a Globe zealot, and he's a jerk, and he's a liar, and he's not a good person, but I don't think it's fair to put pedophile on people, because that's like a hardcore thing. You know, so you got to be careful when you're throwing
Yeah, I
that
know,
stuff
and
around.
I'm just saying that was my first impression, but it was really struck me very early on, and like a bunch of people came out with a bunch of stuff. So maybe he's ignorant to like what, but that symbol is like something that came out today. That was the first thing. That was the first thing I got. The second thing I got was the false prophet stuff and his net worth. That completely, like, in my mind, I was like, what do you mean he has $100 million?
I don't think that's true
like,
either.
Again,
I've heard that's not true.
so what did you find, Karen? Because I don't know.
I heard
don't
that
know
was just
exactly.
a rumor.
Most of the Christian pastors.
I mean, I don't know though.
Is it available? Is it available online? Because like for me, most of the Christian pastors I've known in my life, I mean, I come from the country. I was originally from Kansas, and like most of the Christian pastors I know come from very modest backgrounds. They have a small house. They don't have a lot of money, right? They are very modest people. And I was like, does this guy have this much money? He has a giant like mega tent church in Nashville, I guess. You know, and I'm like, okay, so that was. What do you think? That was red flag number 2. Just come at me, Karen.
Well, I'm going to share with you. I just did a quick search. I don't know how accurate it is, right? But it says from famouspeopletoday.com, Greg Locke. Greg Locke net worth 2023, 1.5 million. Greg Locke is an American pastor who founded Global Vision Church. Yeah, but that's a lot less than 100 million. You know what I'm saying? Like Global Vision Church. Locke has a large following online, including 2.2 million followers. But yeah, it's saying that his net worth is 1.5 million. I don't know how accurate it is. I don't look at his tax returns. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, maybe if there's some.
But that seems more proportionate with the size of church he's got.
I mean, most of the Christian pastors that I ever met in my life, you know, they're operating out of a regular modest house in the Midwest somewhere.
Oh, I hear you.
1.5 million is, yeah. So I'm like, that was a red flag for me too. C on the whole thing was, I mean, I think everybody in this community already understands that he fucking melted down at about 50 minutes in, right? And that was like really I thought he'd melt down a lot quicker, but he melted down about 50 minutes in, and then, you know. In my personal opinion, that guy's going to disappear into the twilight, and you're never going to hear from him again. Because I don't think you can right that kind of ship. He can't right the ship of his flock after that. What happened?
Okay, I found another site that says his net worth is 5 million.
I mean, that's still about a bazillion % more than most Christian pastors and most Christian people that I've ever met earn.
Oh, sure.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. This guy is a fucking grifter. I'm sorry. And that's just my personal opinion. And maybe he wants to save himself, but I don't think he can right the ship. I don't think he can right the ship with his flock. I think he fucking embarrassed himself in front of a lot of people. He didn't look at anything. Just like Stanton Friedman in your interview, Mark.
Yeah.
He wasn't even prepared for the shit that you were going to talk to him about.
Right.
And he was so caught off guard that he retired.
Yeah.
And I think the same is going to happen with this guy. It's like, this was supposed to be the Super Bowl of preacher debates. It wasn't even a debate.
No.
It was so clear from one side to the other that one person is coming from at least a place of love, or at least a place of, you know, I don't know a lot about Dean Odle, and I don't have a lot of fucking history with this guy. I don't know. But he was very sincere in his delivery.
Yeah. And
as far as talking points from the Flat Earth community, he stuck to some very base positions. And Locke he ad-hommed from the minute that he got triggered. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
50 minutes. He lasted longer than most people, right?
Yeah.
But now, you know, like, this is something that's like, you know, like, again, I'm going to borrow from Karen. I'm Christian friendly. I don't know that much about religion.
Yeah.
But I'm very, like, I think Dean Odle was a better Christian by a long shot than Locke was in this whole thing. That's just my position from a random observer from outside, right?
I agree. Hey, Alex, we gotta go to our final break. I'm sorry, man.
All right. Oh, okay. Two places say Greg Locke's net worth is 5 million, and then Christian Magazine is the one that's reported him at 129 million. That's a huge
Well, of
discrepancy.
course.
That's a huge discrepancy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But two other places say 5 million. So I'm why is there such a discrepancy there?
Well, gotta remember where the other source is coming from. Anyway, hey, we gotta go to our last break. So thank you, Alex. And we'll
okay, bye, love you, bye.
Talk to you soon. Karen, the music, please.
Alrighty.
Where is the curvature?
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret.
I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B. Sometimes Peanut Gallery. And we are taking your phone calls right now. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. So be nice, because remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Oh yeah, we gotta do the meetup. Sorry. Last minute meetup. Just came in. Alert. Of course, it's going to be from Jesse. Next meetup will occur Saturday, December 16th at 12 noon till 3 p.m. at Main Street Tavern, 200 South Main Street, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. You can RSVP by calling him at 781-783-3502, or you can email him at 300K mileprius at gmail.com. Why attention, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea? What's that from? You're just messing with me? Do I know that? I don't know. Okay. There's a lot of calls, so we will pick up as many as we can. You know what? Let's start with 949, because I don't want to miss him. Because again, future ex-boyfriend. 949 out of California, probably DJ. Just getting out of the shower.
Oh, hey, what's up, Flat Earth family?
Hey, DJ, what's happening?
Oh my God, I'm riding on cloud 9 after this weekend's debate.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Of course, you were going to watch. Did you watch the whole 4.5 hours?
Of course, I watched that. I watched the follow-up that Dean Odle did the next morning. I was just kicking myself for not going there and hanging out with everybody, because we had Dave Weiss and Austin Whitsitt. You know, I recognized people from the conference. I was like, oh man, the energy in that room must have just been incredible, because it was amazing to watch.
It was probably a little tense though, because it was a mixed crowd.
Yeah, because you didn't know who you were sitting next to. So, it'd probably be like a sports stadium where you had to make.
It was so.
Go ahead.
It just felt like a historic moment for Flat Earth, and I've been waiting for something like this to kind of happen on the main stage, and it did not disappoint. So if you're listening out there and you didn't watch it, please at least get through Dean Odle's presentation, because, you know, it brought me back to Rob Skiba's presentation that he did, but this time just knowing what the stakes were and anticipating what Pastor Locke's reaction was going to be, and it felt like you could hear a pin drop while Dean Odle gave his presentation.
Yeah.
I mean, the people were absorbing truth for the first time that they've probably ever heard in their lives. And I remember when I heard that similar, which, you know, shout out to Rob Skiba, because I'm sure Dean Odle was inspired by that and would have the best of that as well as the best of his own stuff. And that must have just been such an homage to what Skiba did. And then the way Dean Odle handled himself, it's like, wow, I just was praying that he wasn't going to crack. You know, he kept his cool, and it must have been intense for him. So to me, the Holy Spirit was there that night, and God bless the people that were there. And I just prayed that this opens Pastor Locke's eyes, because the truth is the truth, and it's the truth for everybody. And, you know, God is God for all. And I just felt like, what an amazing thing to witness.
Well, that's nice. Thank you, DJ. That's awesome. It was a great thing, a long time coming. And again, everything for a reason. Greg Locke did not have to do that. He absolutely did not have to do that. He could have just blown it off, and who knows, you know, if there was divine intervention there. But letting all those flat earthers have a voice that night, oof. He's going to regret that for a long time to come.
Pride comes before the fall.
There you go. Yeah, he thought he could take it. It's like, oh no, I got
He's very confident. I'm so confident. I got one Bible verse that destroys it all. And then, like, it wasn't even that great. I was like, I kept waiting. I'm like, what is the verse? I got to hear this.
Yeah.
And then it was like, so just, no, dude. Just no.
It was like watching, like you said, Karen, you nailed it, because I listened to your coffee talk too, which was really fun yesterday, by the way.
Thank you.
And I know that you guys have had your differences with Dean Odle, but I just believe as humans that no matter who we are, whether it's Pastor Locke, who's going to have to go through his process, or Dean Odle, or you, or whoever, that whoever God is, right? So I don't want to say, but it's all up to, you know, whoever that is, whoever's listening right now to all of our hearts and knows our minds and knows us inside and out, whatever God that is, it's the same for all of us. And it's nothing but love. And it's going to teach us how to love, how to forgive, and how to push forward. And, you know, I just think that's a beautiful thing. And I was just so proud that after meeting you guys in person and meeting Dave and Austin, just knowing how the community came together despite whatever the past has been, because nobody's perfect. We've all got to humble ourselves, and we got to be, you know, stand before whoever the creator is one day and be like, you know, we did our best. We tried our best, and please forgive me. And I just can't wait for what's to come, which has to be better than the shit that we're going through. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just where my mind's at right now.
That's nice.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank you,
message.
DJ. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Well,
Anything else?
So Mark, you remember when you put your address on at the presentation at Flattoberfest?
Oh, I am aware of it. Yeah. Why?
Look outside your front window right now. Just kidding. I'm not that
Oh my
great.
God.
You see Mark's face? He was like, "Oh my God."
Just kidding. But if I leave now, according to, yes, 18 hours from now, I can be there for dinner. So
thank you, DJ, for
you like that one?
Yeah, you got me. You're snapping me out of it. No, anyone that wants to stop by, please do call ahead before you come by, as you know, I don't want to be in a bathrobe.
Oh, hey, you know,
that was great.
I'll be right there. Your ex-boyfriend. Why did we break up, by the way?
Oh my God.
And no happy endings do happen, but all joking aside, let me give my shout outs and I'll let you go before you try to say we gotta go to commercial, and I'm like,
okay.
Shout out to Zulu, who always gives me the best shout outs. I'm so grateful for that guy. Not only is his voice hilarious, I love him. He's amazing. So Zulu, you're my man. Can't wait to meet you. He's so entertaining. Emmett, who at the Flattoberfest, who just had so much great scriptural knowledge. It was so fun to talk to. Shout out to Richard in Australia. Shout out to the nice couple from the Netherlands. They were so cool. And Tony Coriolis, who's amazing. And I love that guy. And the Flat Earth Mom is Bronca Darlene. The LA crew, David, Jill, and Jessica. And Sandra, who just became a grandma again. Austin Wissett, Dave Weiss. And also Dean Odle for just making us look good. Thank you, everyone. And DJ out.
Bye, DJ. Thank you.
Very nice. Great call. I liked that call.
He's awesome. Oh, DJ. And how could you not? If you met him in person, you'd know. He was extremely popular at the Vegas conference.
Yes.
Let's do. Oh boy, what about 702? Speaking of Vegas, I was thinking of picking up 702. Yeah, let's try it. I think we picked him up before. 702. We've talked to you before. You seem familiar.
Oh yeah. I've called in a few times. I just wanted to say, yeah, this is Dave from Vegas, but
hey, Dave.
Flattoberfest was amazing. I loved it. My buddy and I, we had a great time. It was freaking awesome. And then that last caller that was calling in, he's like, "Look out your front window." I was cracking up.
Totally punked Mark.
Funny.
I would have been impressed. I gotta
Anyway,
tell you,
yeah.
I would have been very impressed if they would have pulled that off.
Okay, yeah, like you may have seen me at the conference. I was the dude with the waxed up mustache.
Oh, I know exactly. There's not a lot
I
of
think
wax.
I remember you. Yeah.
No, that was a fine mustache you had going on there.
Oh, all right, but yeah, I just wanted to call in and talk about just how awesome Flattoberfest was.
Oh,
awesome! Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed
you can
it.
Get on to the other.
All right, we'll pick some sort of, but before I let you go, did you note at the beginning of the show where starting tomorrow, Karen's going to start releasing the footage from the conference, each speaker?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Just so you know, in case you wanted to relive some of that stuff. The what?
Man, I'm drawing a blank. I had one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I'm totally drawing a blank.
That's right.
Oh,
You're a bad person.
Okay, but yeah, I don't want to waste it.
You can call back next week.
Yeah, whatever. You can think about it.
Yeah, I'll call back.
Okay. Talk soon, man.
Love you guys.
Have a good one.
Right on. Cheers.
Bye. Let's do. Where are we going? I'm thinking of picking up. I'm not picking up that anonymous one. Nope. I'm a little leery of anonymous ones. Calling in. Don't block your number. Not going to do it. We've learned our lesson in the past. But I am going to pick up this guy who was at the conference. 518. What's on your mind? Did you watch any of the debate this weekend?
Actually, I didn't. Good evening, Karen, Mark, and Peanut. No, my daughter got married on Saturday, so that's where I was.
Congratulations. Well, I'm not. We won't. That's a valid excuse. You don't need a note for that. So,
No, I really did want to watch it. I really did want to watch it, but I'll catch it. I heard it was quite interesting.
Cool.
First thing I want to say is, Karen, wonderful job on the tribute.
Oh, thank you.
You did an excellent piece of work. That's the shirt I was talking about earlier this year.
Yeah.
Remember I said we should have a shirt for our flat Earth?
Oh, the tribute shirt.
That was it. Yes. It was beautiful, Karen. The way you put it together, it gave me goosebumps. It really did. I was like, wow, she really did a hell of a job on that. So thank you, Karen.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
See, I just lost my train of thought because that was so beautiful. Oh, DJ, is he standing outside your window, Mark?
No, he is not standing outside my window. He's in Los Angeles. Probably wearing a towel.
That's only right up the street. It's only right down the street.
Well, West Coast is a little long. That's like driving from New York to Miami. It's a little bit of a haul.
Yeah, I did that drive before. So in New York to Miami, I've done that a couple of times. It is a long ride. Hey, Mark.
Well, go ahead. Yeah.
Your strange worlds seem to be scattered all over the place.
Yes.
Is there any way that you can line them back up like you did before?
You mean in the playlist?
Yeah, because it's just scattered all over the place.
Oh crap! I'll have to look at my playlist. I haven't looked in a while.
Some of them don't even pop up.
Well, that's because YouTube took down like over 100 Strange World episodes because during the pandemic we were railing against them the whole time, and they they're no mercy.
Yeah, they in fact, they even took down at one point. They took down 50 in a row. They took down a whole year, literally. In fact, I can even tell you. So if you guys are online, you'll have to go to like BitChute or Brighteon or Rumble or something like that. But on YouTube, for example, they took out episodes 293 through 344, all of them. From 293 to 344, because every one of those shows we got hit for metal.
Oh yeah, you had your rant.
Yep, I was ranting about
on your
all
rant around that time.
They went through the back catalog. I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can line them up a little bit better. But there's still hundreds out there in the playlist. But they were blowing holes in my channel.
There's 370 videos in your Strange World playlist, and we're on episode 430 something?
436, I think.
Yeah. 436.
Honestly, man,
that's crazy.
They are in order. Peanut says they are in order. Thank God. But between you, me, and the people that listen, it's like, look, my channel's. It's lucky it's even there. You got to remember, I received 11 I received 11 guideline strikes in a weekend, and I mean that's like machine.
Yeah, but you said they only can count for 3 of them.
But they only counted 3 of them. The others just apparently. Well, again, the 3 should have destroyed it. It's like I didn't even bother looking. It's like it's over, it's gone. And for some reason, the media gods said, yeah, he's not so bad. So whatever. I've always been lucky, I guess, or a guardian angel's been looking after me, or a whole fleet of guardian angels.
All right. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a nice evening. I'll talk to y'all next week. I have some other things to talk about, but I know you got other callers. So,
all right.
Karen, Mark, Peanut, shout out to Jan, Zulu, and the Flat Earth family. DJ, crazy ass. All right. Y'all have a nice evening. Keep it flat.
All right.
See you, Jerome. Oh, you know what? Let's see what's going on with 504. Now, I know he's in a truck right now, so I'm giving him a couple seconds to like gather his thoughts and know that I do want to, well, we'll see how many calls. I do want to try to pick up one call after you. So don't go nuts. All right. I know you're verbose, but don't be loquacious necessarily. You know what I mean? All right. 504. What's happening?
So we'll see how fast I can go. I did manage to pull over to the scales, so I'm not driving.
Oh, good.
So I'm still in the truck, though.
Good.
Yep. Could I begin with a shout out to Greg Locke for giving such a boost and unity to the Flat Earth movement?
Sure.
I was, Saturday, this is totally separate from that debate, which was, I didn't go to it. I've been in Oregon the whole time, but I thought it was outstanding. Anyway, also a lot of these past few calls are pretty good. Anyway, totally separate from the debate, I'm going to an Eastern Orthodox Christian conference, and I bought tickets to it Saturday. I've been meaning to go after I bought a new car and stuff recently. And anyway, it hit me yesterday. This conference I'm going to, it's in Alabama, and I bought them actually during that debate. So it's like I get off work every morning at like 5 a.m., about 5 a.m. So I can't get there the same day, so I had to go. I'm flying to Alabama a day early. You know, it's like, you know what? I got an idea. I thought yesterday, maybe just like I did with you, David Weiss, Karen, and several other Flat Earth people, you know, Alex Lowry, whoever. I thought maybe if I can arrange with them, all he's got to do is say yes. Before I go to the conference, after I get to the airport in Alabama, this is in mid-March. After I get to Birmingham, maybe I'll go meet up with Dean Odle and give him a few books that might, pardon the pun, expand his horizon. And anyway, that's all I got.
That's it?
You're surprised.
You just told him not to be verbose.
I could expand.
No.
Say again?
Peanuts already said it's a Christmas miracle. Go with it.
Okay. Roger that.
No, that's cool. No, thank you for that, Dennis, and don't be a stranger, okay?
Yep. Merry Christmas to the next caller.
Okay. Merry Christmas. And yeah, we're not.
Also, Dennis sent me another recommendation for a book, a map book, and I did order that off of Amazon. Thanks for the recommendation, Dennis. I got a used version. I got a cheap used version, so hopefully it's pretty good.
And he wrote me a nice email about the debate and explaining both points. And yeah, his statement about Greg Locke, of course. Greg Locke again. All press is good press. It's not the original saying. The original saying is even bad press is free. And it's true. I mean, Greg Locke exposed. I mean, I've never seen that many Christian channels take notice who had never even looked at Flat Earth before. And I found a new channel. I didn't know there's a Rob Skiba dedication podcast. A couple guys that like have Rob Skiba posters all over their back wall. And they do this podcast and they've got tens of thousands of followers. It's like right on. I never
Is it not the Skiba news report thing?
I'd never been in the Skiba news report.
Oh, okay. So this is something else?
No. I'm sure that was probably it.
Oh.
But the point was I'd never seen that on the list, and all of a sudden they showed up because because I only search for flat Earth and flat Earth related, and all these guys, all these channels were putting flat Earth in the topic. So Greg Locke helped us out multiple ways, because there were all these people putting out 4.5-hour videos of covering the conference, and every one of them had to put in the title flat Earth debate. So great, absolutely awesome. You know what, I was thinking of picking up 937. Wait a minute, where's Peanut? Can you wake him up, please? Thank you. See, normally I wait for 845, and 845 is going to run out of time, so he should remember to call in rather than just listening to the show. This is what we get. Whatever. Anyway, while we're waiting, next week I'm thinking of doing as a theme, this one was called The Silent Script. I was thinking about natural disasters, which we haven't had any for a while. I think we're due for one. I don't know where.
Why would you say that?
You know me. Why not?
You're like, I was telling Ted earlier, you're like, that meme with the stick figure and he's got or the little cartoon figure and he's got a stick and he's poking stuff and it's like, do something. That's you.
Yes.
Do something.
Do something. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Karen. Not only am I an enabler, I'm a horrible enabler. Don't ever have a habit and hang around me. But I'm also a bit of a mischievous imp. Okay. Oh, there he is. Look at that. Start. Yeah, here we go. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Wow, in a whole different octave. I want to be a part of it.
New York. Hey, yeah, rookie mistake. I'm a douchebag. Totally forgot to call. I'm like, okay, yeah.
You were just listening to the show, weren't you?
Like, wake him the fuck up.
You were just listening to the show.
Idiot.
You were going to be like, oh, wow, what were the show's going to
dude, I was just enjoying it so much. So much. Hey, I want to say I'm Mark Sargent, and I've been defending you since 2015. Fuck that Greg Locke. I was so triggered. I am so fucking glad I was not there. Like, I probably would have gotten in trouble. Like, that pissed me the fuck off so much. You are our resident nerd, Mark. We love you. We need you. Fuck him. Fuck him, man. What an asshole. He's a multimillionaire. Why does he need some fucking rancher to pay for the balloon ride? Eat a dick. Oh my God. Oh my God. That motherfucker pissed me off so much.
Yeah, I hear.
It was Flat Earth 101. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, you're right. It was Flat Earth 101 when I was watching Dean's thing. It's like, oh no, Greg made a mistake. Dean Odle, the best stuff when he was just firing off the videos, firing off the stuff and reading the bullet points. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're exposing all these people to this, and the ones that didn't show up, they were watching from home.
Maters and taters.
Yeah, yeah. And look, if you're gonna,
like I said,
yeah, Greg Locke, if he's gonna dig into his pocket of trolldom and dig out a dig against me, I get it. But to your point, nobody gets to pick on Mark but us. Who are you? Yeah.
No, that's like my brother, my sister. I'm the only one that could fuck with them because they're my family, not yours. Fuck you.
Well, I always get upset when people pick on Mark because Mark never does anything to anybody. Even when they blatantly talk shit about him, he's just like, it's okay. Where me, I'm like, fuck you, like I just don't get why people keep doing that.
Yeah, Karen.
Like, you're gonna give it to me, you're gonna take it back. You know, like that's just how I am. But
yeah, I look, I get it. At that point, and I don't know what the timestamp was when he was taking the shots. I think it was pretty late in the game, but he was running out of it.
He was towards the end.
Yeah, he was running out of bullets. He got desperate enough to where he had to awkwardly shut off Dean's mic and then have him removed, and then bring guys with guns to the stage. Yeah. It's like, come on.
That was major douchery.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it worked out in our favor. It's like, dude, you let us run a Flat Earth 101 stream for 4.5 hours. Great. and it was being covered all over the
totally
place.
destroyed him.
So wonderful
I
exposure.
saw it on mainstream channels that don't talk about flat Earth or anything. They were talking about this guy fucking losing his shit. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay.
Really?
I don't remember.
Now all those people are talking about flat Earth.
I wonder if like the Christian magazines and stuff will start talking about it. There's got to be like
this story will get out there.
Is there a Christian gossip rag?
I still believe that blue team.
I'm sure there is.
That blue team media will pick this up as a chance to attack red team, and they'll say like, "Look what the Republicans are arguing over at church." I almost guarantee that someone is going to run that story because it's too easy. Wow, how could you not do it? But again, great exposure to where even Ian from England, he sent me a thing to where we were trending this morning, just on internet searches in general. It creates a lot of ripples. So great, wonderful. Thank you, Greg, for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, I got a couple quick things. I'll run through them.
Sure.
Ammo is doing now. New York State now to purchase ammo, you have to do a background check. You would think, oh, no big deal. It takes 10 minutes in the store. Negative. They switched the cunt here, switched it over to the state police, which currently has a backlog of 1 year. You cannot purchase ammo in the state of New York for 1 year. It's fucking ridiculous.
So no ammo is being. Why
Absolutely
even have it on the
ridiculous.
shelves?
What if you already?
It's all sitting.
can
It's all
buy a
sitting on the
weapon?
shelf.
What was that, Karen?
They are requiring a background check on that as well as your pistols, everything. But they moved it to the state police. That's what's fucking it all up.
Wow.
Every other state, the FBI does it 10 seconds, actually 10 minutes. They call in, they run your name, nothing, you're clean, good to go, get your shit. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Hey, I just wanted to say, Mark, I have your address too. Look out your front window. I was dying. Dude, I crossed my fingers and was hoping he was actually there. Sorry.
No,
Mark's face was classic.
He sold it. He absolutely sold it.
He did.
It was perfect.
Damn Los Angeles actor.
Hey, DJ, I just want to say I'm entertaining. What am I, a clown? What am I, funny to you?
Yeah, what am I, funny to you?
I fucking love DJ. Yeah, fucking awesome. Oh, yeah. And what do you mean Coffee Talk was fun yesterday? It's fun every time. I just wanted to say a couple things to him. Also, congratulations to Jerome. That's awesome. Really awesome. And when are you debating, Karen? That's tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be. It's gonna be hilarious. I think.
I know it's gonna be interesting.
But I'm debating on Jeranism channel tomorrow against this guy named Sacred Knowledge about melted brick, all mountains being melted brick buildings and meltology.
Guys, is he one of our ranks that just
what time is that?
No, what do you mean?
Is he
I don't even think he does content. Like he just calls into Jaren show and talks about melted brick buildings.
But is he globe Earth or is this flat Earth?
No, he's a flat earther. These are flat earthers.
So this is flat Earth on flat Earth crime is what's happening here.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is. I actually find it more
God.
interesting to debate other flat earthers about subtopics than to debate globe earthers about whether the Earth is flat or round. Like that's been done a bunch of times. So I actually prefer to.
That's just straight up ridiculous.
Yeah.
Debating about the globe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be doing more of that in the future.
We'll see what sort of composure Karen will be holding in this one. Although it shouldn't be too bad.
No, it'll be fine.
I don't think she'll pull a Locke or anything.
Tell Jaren to shut off his mic. All right, hey Zulu, give me a quote. We're running over. Give me a quote.
Okay. All right, and this is for Locke. If you are in denial, you are trying to protect yourself from a truth that is too painful for you to accept at the moment. Eat a dick. I don't like him at all. At all. At all.
I don't like him either, I'll be
Thought
honest.
he was going to go poetic, then you end with dicks. Okay. Is that it?
I just want him to know that.
Okay. Cool. Can I wrap this thing up?
There you go. I love you guys.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Peanut, Mark Sargent, Karen B, Ice Cream Zulu, NDB, the chat. Love you all. All right.
All right. We will be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Wow. Good night, Zulu.
And Peanut Gallery goes through his 85th cigarette of the day. That's it. We'll see ya. So, hot sex and roll music, and good night, everybody.
All right. Good
Hot
night,
sex.
everybody, and keep your eye out for Flattoberfest presentations to be being released starting tomorrow.
And Karen's debate tomorrow.
And Karen's debate tomorrow. Yes.
Thank you.
I'll probably maybe
What time is that? What time is that?
at 6 p.m.
Eastern.
time.
6 p.m. Eastern?
So
Yes.
3 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
3 Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Try not to hurt the guy too bad tomorrow night.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'm
Remember.
sure he's got lots of proof.
Flat Earth don't eat their own. You know what I mean? We don't.
Not usually.
All right. Run music. Peanut's going to have a stroke. No stop button.
So we say we know what we thought we knew. All I thought we threw away was everything. Fought in many wars, danced our lives away. How well we loved is how long our lovers stay. They say that Mars is close as it's ever been, and I'm so tired of being on the ropes again. That's the lovely girl standing on the moon, wishing she had a breath of air. That's a lonely boy standing in the room, a solo game musical chair. They say that Mars is close as it's ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Mike Jack. Jack.
You realize it's the same link every week. It never changes.
Yeah, I know. I should paste it somewhere, I think.